Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having a great day. Quick look here at OP. We're going to double check a couple of things. We actually got this ascending trend line that's still holding. We're going to go ahead and draw this out a little bit further and just make sure you pay attention to that guy. And then also help understand where we're at with liquidation on the back end too, because it's important to recognize the general direction here and also where those levels might line up. In other words, is it worthwhile taking profit at XYZ? We're going to double check that too. So if you're new to the channel, welcome aboard. I hope you can learn something here today. If you want to become a better trader, cryptocash.tech is the site. Link down below. We took some nice profits from, Bitcoin and AVAX for some shorts we took yesterday. I am speculating we're going to see further downside for Bitcoin, so just be mindful. That could factor in here to this coin as well. Okay, but let's double check this. This is actually interesting. A lot, and I mean a lot, of liquidation is forming at this upper level here at about $4.05. So 405 to 425. Healthy amount of liquidation there. So if OP were to recover, that would be a very solid sweep of liquidation. Just keep in mind, shorts makes sense to have shorted that level. I'll explain why in a minute. But the truth here is that there is liquidation to the downside too. It's just down as low as 3 to 3.2. So we're much closer to the upper range, which implies that that level may be swept first. Not a guarantee, but generally speaking, that's how liquidation works. So let's talk about the situation here where we're at. So OP is doing very well for itself. Running upwards there, pulled back because of Bitcoin shenanigans this morning. We saw some liquidation levels for Bitcoin. It was pretty nasty. But the way we're looking at it here is we're just going to start with some standard stuff first. All right, so let's look at this here. We're underneath the 20 and the 50-day simple moving average, and we're above the 100 and the 200. A lot of coins are doing that right now. Does that mean anything? Not really too much, honestly. Being smack dab in the middle of moving averages just kind of tells us we're in the desirable range. Okay. Same thing here as well with the volume. We're just below that $3.82 range. That's potentially a resistance for us. So is it a guarantee the price action is going to stay below that now? No, it just implies that unless we can get some volume coming back in this coin, we're going to have difficulty getting through that range. Okay. So we take a look at the MACD, tried to converge, kind of get an MACD-FE right now though. Okay. Basically just implying that a lot of people were expecting the price to go up, and surprise, the price went down, mainly again because of Bitcoin, but also just in general, there's a few key factors we want to look at, and that'll be more present on the smaller time frames. So really quick to note, on the hourly, on the daily, we can see that we're above and below the RSI at 50. That's never a great place to be, just kind of implying we have somewhat of resistance in this current range, which makes sense if you look at the chart. We can see that 0.5 fib level at $3.95/$4 has a heavy concentration there of resistance based on candlestick closures, candle wicks, and of course moving averages. Okay, so all that being said, 50 on the RSI, closing above that would be important today. Do we have that luxury? Probably not. Just depends on how Bitcoin behaves, but right now it does look like a lot of coins want to drop fairly hard. Okay, so again, you got to keep in mind most coins ramped up when Bitcoin did here recently, so a lot of the profits left on the table, and it's important to recognize that that's going to be taken. Okay. Well, market movers do this all the time. It's very standard. We take a look at volume too in the last, this is roughly since the beginning of the month. You can see we have a decent amount of volume at 450, volume above the current price action at 385, and of course support at 440, 445. So this 0.236 fib level, we can presume will be a support level. So the price continues lower. It would make sense for the price to pivot off that level and continue to recover. Okay. That's generally the consensus here today. Near Protocol and a few other coins that I looked at today have the same trade setup where they're honoring this ascending trend. Haven't broken through that yet, but they're looking terrible on smaller time frames. So let's double check the hourly and see kind of if there's any confirmation that a short position would be viable. And if we're below the cloud, I'd say generally yes, which we are. This is not a great look, but very standard. We can see here we've got traditional RSI. Correction, I'm sorry, I misspoke. Lagging span is free and clear of the price action. That's confirmation number 1, short position is viable. Confirmation 2, we broke below the cloud quite soundly. It's not like the cloud is like hanging out over here. It's literally above the price now. So it really just implies that we lost any kind of support for this ascending trend, as well as the fact that the conversion line is now below the baseline, above the baseline, implying that we have selling pressure. So you got to keep in mind, a lot of this stuff is bearish type of divergences that are not guaranteed to continue lower. It just implies that if we lose this support level here at about 370, there's a solid chance the price will continue lower. Again, what usually happens is the price will do something like this, go sideways, and come back up as a bearish backtest, and then it'll continue lower. Okay, so I'm expecting something along those lines. Again, if Bitcoin just drops the bottom right now, we'll see OP drop too. There's no other way around it. But we can summarize it. 345 is a decent amount of support based on volume, the most recent time frames. And then if we take a look at, again, liquidation, price goes any further than 340, 320 to down as low as $3 even, we'll get swept very, very hard. Okay. So what does all that mean for us? Well, it just implies that we're more likely to go down than up in the immediate future, but the overall trend is still going up, right? We got to presume it will continue until it doesn't. And at this point here, we have every reason to pump the brakes, I would say. Because again, I know it seems like, oh gosh, wait, I thought you just said we're looking at going down. That's true. That is true. But that could turn around in a heartbeat if Bitcoin pulls its head out of its ass and goes 70K plus. So please, please, please be very careful. Keep your head on a swivel. If you're going to take a short, low position size, low leverage, do not just set it and forget it unless you set it up correctly. And what I mean by that is multiple profit targets, stop loss, perhaps even multiple entries so you can average into your position. There's no guarantees the price is going to drop from here, but it's looking fairly likely if we lose the support level. So honestly, if we close at current price or lower, it would make sense for the price to continue lower. Because again, Bitcoin closing under 70K, close to that low 60K range or 69K range, strong probability we're going to see it for the downside. A lot of this is contingent on Bitcoin. So pay attention to Bitcoin, educate yourself, and just become a better trader. Okay? You need more of that. I got a trading academy in my community. Jump on over there, check that out. And we're all trading with Bitunix Phenomenal Exchange. Use my link down below to register, $5,500 in benefit rewards. The main reason why I use them is KYC and VPN requirements are non-existent. We love using them. They've been fantastic to us in the US, Canada, and other countries. So thank you, Bitnix, and thank you as well to everybody for just being an awesome part of my life. And make sure you like, subscribe, and follow if you haven't already. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.